What's going on, guys? This is Finn here for the Sideline Report. Today we're going to do the Lions playbook breakdown on the whiteboard here. A little different. We're going to do it over the video. So today I want to talk about the 28-yard run by Dwayne Washington and what we can kind of take from this run, analyze, and see what we can do long-term or short-term here next week if Amir Abdullah's injury is going to be a problem or a multi-game injury. Can Dwayne Washington come in as a 7th round draft pick out of Washington and fill that void? Does he deserve more carries, or are the Lions going to kind of rely on Theo Riddick for the Week 3 matchup? So we're going to go hop into the 28-yard run. Lions here line up in a 5-wide set. Now, last week we saw in the Dusty concept, in this 5-wide set, we had the seam route and the 2 double ins, or double under routes, from the 2 receivers here. We also saw a route combination from the running back. It was Amir, now it's Dwayne Washington and Marvin Jones, which resulted in a touchdown. What they're looking for, or what Matt Stafford's looking for here, is a 2-on-2 scenario. He's looking to get isolated and so we can work this rub route to success. But what we see here is we see a linebacker on the outside of the defensive end, as well as a safety on that near hash. So working that 2-on-2 isn't really a 2-on-2 because you're going to have immediate help. So just like last week, what we saw is they went ahead and once they didn't get the look they wanted, they went ahead and motioned that running back into the backfield. So he motions Dwayne Washington back, and what we see here is a slide over by the backer and both the safety. So really what you have is you have a one-on-one blocking scenario, and you have a very run and very interior run look here on the defense is one safety high. Stafford sees this, and he actually is going to check down to a draw play and put himself under center. So Stafford's going to come up here. Dwayne Washington's under center. And what he's going to do is he's going to go ahead and make this a draw play. For you guys who don't know what a draw play is, that's where it's kind of the opposite of a play action, and where a play action you want to show run to get the linebacker scooting up, and it's actually a pass play. A draw is where you're going to show pass. The protection is going to show pass protection and drop as if the quarterback's dropping back for a pass. And that's to get these linebackers to drop back into maybe their coverage, or just to take a step back. Getting an NFL linebacker 2 steps out of position may be all it needs to get a 30-yard gain. So we're going to have a draw run to the left, in which we're going to see Taylor Decker is going to drop back. Laken Tomlinson actually gets beat here on penetration, but he's able to seal it out. The center is going to move in on the backer here, and then we're just going to have backside protection along the play. So here Dwayne Washington's going to take a step out like he's going to pass protect here with Taylor Decker, who's dropped back. Once this man here gets a little bit too vertical, Taylor Decker goes ahead and runs up the field. After taking a quick step out this way, Stafford's going to meet him, and Dwayne Washington's going to cut up the gap following Taylor Decker up the field. The key part here, one, is not letting this interior lineman completely break down the play. So even though Laken Tomlinson gets beat, he does manage to get beat on the wrong side of the play, which is very fortunate for the offense here. Next thing here is Taylor Decker selling on this edge rusher that has passed. Getting this edge rusher too far up the field is what really opens up the running lane here for Dwayne Washington, who makes a quick decision, doesn't force it outside, but cuts right up the field. The next thing we see is the safety coming over here one-on-one, or with a blocker, and Dwayne Washington really just has to play his man, which he does an excellent job doing. He makes a quick little step move out here, gets the safety on the outside of the block, and he actually is going to cut up field to have a one-on-one with that safety. So, which he ends up breaking that tackle and continuing up the sideline for 28 yards. So the big key here with Dwayne Washington, as well as his first run, which was called back on the penalty, is his ability to get north and south. At 230 pounds, Dwayne Washington's role in this offense really is to be a power back kind of guy. The hard yards, your 2 yards, your 3rd and 1, your goal line carries, as he had the 1-yard touchdown last week against the Colts. But we forget that even though he's 230 pounds, Dwayne Washington also is a former receiver who ran a 4.4 on his pro day. So he's definitely had the wheels. We saw in the preseason his ability to break free on the kick return on the first carry against the Bills. The problem with Dwayne Washington is inexperience, and he hasn't shown any of that. He hasn't shown any fumble problems. He hasn't shown that he gets iffy and been indecisive. He's been very decisive. He gets north and south really quick, and he reads his blocks extremely well, and he breaks tackles well. He's the kind of guy who at any time could break a tackle and take it to the yard, and that's a dangerous threat. So I would look for the Lions to kind of rely more on Dwayne Washington, assuming Ameer Abdullah is out this week. I would like to see Theo Riddick also involved, but as we've seen in the past and last week after Ameer went down, Theo Riddick's just not the kind of guy who's going to be able to carry 10 to 15 carries a game and really grind out the hard yards. Fortunately, a role that Dwayne Washington is perfectly built for. So that's all we have this week here is excellent recognition on what the defense is giving by Stafford, a nice check down here into the draw, and perfect execution by the left tackle as well as decision making by the running back. So look for Dwayne Washington to play a bigger role in the Week 3 matchup against the Packers.